Hey, this is Mike Cole, your right-of-way pro. Thanks for checking in to this video here. I've got another tip for you with regards to dealing with the railroad. So last time it was about being a people person and interacting with the agent. The other important component about getting a successful agreement is the print. You want to make sure, and this sounds silly when I say it, but I think sometimes agents lose sight of this very important component about getting a successful agreement done and getting it done quickly, and that is your print needs to comply with what the railroad has published as their standard. They're going to tell you what they require. Say you're going over the top of it with a wire. You can see wires behind me. Well, there's a standard that's published by each of the various railroads that tells you how high you have to be. Now you want to follow that because you don't want for your client's cable to get snagged by a double-stacked train. The railroad doesn't want to snag your cable, so you're all in agreement here. So it's a matter of just looking up those standards and making sure you get the clearance done the way they accept. And that's also true for underground. I can't show it. It's not much of a picture to see an underground gas main here at trackside. But so if you're dealing with Union Pacific, BNSF, Kansas City Southern, Norfolk Southern, CSX, Canadian National, Canadian Pacific, those are your Class 1 railroads. Every one of them has published their accepted standards for separations and for design on the print. You have to start there. Go there first, download the standards, and make sure your print shows them, and this is the important part, everything they want to see and nothing they don't want to see. Because putting things they don't want to see is clutter. Remember, the reviewing agent for the railroad has a specific job. Their job is to protect the infrastructure of that railroad so that that railroad can perform its primary duties safely. What are their primary duties? Well, it's moving freight across their rails. They don't want to be in the news cycle, they don't want to have a derailment, they don't want to damage property, and they don't want to injure or kill people. So it's very critically important to that reviewing agent that your plan set reflects that you understand those safety concerns. Now, as a right-of-way agent, you're going to convey that verbally with the reviewing agent so that they understand you're on the same page. But the prints have to show that also, because there is that very important technical side. Download those standards, make sure your prints conform to it. Now, one thing that engineers and surveyors sometimes trip on with these prints is they like to show detail. That's their work. And they like to be complete and thorough, and that's usually an asset. But for a railroad plan reviewer, they really don't care about the other existing utilities because it's not their job to protect those particular facilities. So turn those layers off. You may submit that to the city or the county or the state or any other reviewing agency so that they can see it because it may be important to them. But to the railroad, those things are not nearly as important as you show all the track features, you show those crossing gates, you have the information sign that's posted on there, you have all that stuff that pertains to the railroad and much less of the other features. And the railroad is much happier because they don't have to wade through a bunch of what they consider clutter to review your project. So keep that tip in mind, download those standards, review them carefully, make sure your plan set conforms to it, and I find you're going to have a much greater rate of success and a faster turnaround, which is very important when you try to compress that timeline for your client's benefit. You're going to have greater success if you follow this tip. I'm Mike Cole, your right-of-way pro. I hope you enjoyed this tip. If you did, please click like, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe so you can see the next set of tips coming out at you. Thank you.